What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 31st day of August, the final day of August itself, and here we are at about $2.84 with 20 hours, 25 minutes left in this day, in this week, in this month. We've got the trifecta of candle closes happening right now. Let's look at this on a monthly time frame, actually. If we could move up 6% by the end of today over the next 20 hours, I don't think that's asking too much. 6% in a day is not hard to do. It might be hard to do if Bitcoin's not moving. But if you can do that, you actually absolve yourself of closing this month red, which I think would be nice. That'd be a better look on the RSI. You don't want this RSI to come below the overbought zone. I suppose a close here wouldn't be too bad. After all, we've done that before, and it was all right. But you don't want to close below it. When you close below it, you typically do go lower, right? Or at least that promotes months of consolidation at the very least, if not downside. So we've been consolidating for quite some time, since January of 2025. I think that I speak for everybody in the XRP community when I say we're ready to move this thing higher, right? But if we're ready, but XRP is not ready, I guess that doesn't matter. Let's look at the daily time frame, actually the 1 hour time frame, and then we'll zoom out from there, okay? Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. The RSI is getting overbought, which is nice. We broke out of this little area here, which is nice to see, but we need to continue moving. Perhaps what we'll do here, is find support at prior resistance and then continue to move up. That would definitely be ideal, right? We don't want to come back down. If we come back down over the coming hours, that would definitely put a lesser likelihood that we come back up and close this month green. What is the price that we need to close this month green, by the way? That's $3.02. It says it up here, right? Open. $3. Sorry, yeah, $3.02. If we're looking at this on the 1 hour, again, the RSI is bullish. Stochastics are coming out of the overbought zone, but that's okay. If we can bounce off the 50, that's fine. We don't have to bounce off the 50. Sometimes you do kind of do this. You kind of wig wag right up here, right? You don't need to go all the way down here, but as long as we're holding above the 50, I think that's fine. The MACD does look like it wants to cross above the 0, which is very positive, right? These oscillators look like they want to cross above the 0. If we can do that, I mean, we've got the right setup here to continue to do good things, but we just need to do it. We can move down a little bit, right? We're at $2.84 now. We can move down to about 2.83, but I don't want to see us go too much lower than that if we want hopes of moving up by the end of the day up to $3.02, right? Which seems pretty damn far away at the moment. That's not a nice 4-hour candle. 22 minutes left in this 4-hour candle here. That is not a nice 4-hour candle. We got a big wick there, finding resistance at prior support. If we're looking at the 4-hour RSI, to be honest, the RSI actually looks good. Overall, it looks sad, but you've got bullish divergence here, and you're coming up. I would think that you do continue to grow. Will that take you all the way up to $3.02? Maybe. Maybe not. From here, 8 hours later, we were all the way up at that area. So maybe it's not impossible. We've definitely, I mean, we've recently done that. We've done that over here as well. Even over here, right? We've done exactly that move several times throughout this kind of consolidation phase since July. So it's very possible to do. It's just, can we do it now? The stochastics do look good, and the MACD is about to cross green, and we do have higher lows throughout this. I don't know. There's hope. There's definitely hope, but it comes down to the wire. It is, today or not at all. If it doesn't happen today, we're getting a red month, and that wouldn't bode too well on the RSI. It's not condemning because, again, you're not out of the overbought zone, and you can bounce off of it. But I think it'd be more beneficial to at least get a green month, if not some kind of neutral month. Okay, it doesn't have to be voluptuously green, but I mean the bigger the better, I suppose. 4-hour MACD, we've gone over all that. Okay, let's go over the daily time frame here. Daily time frame since July 18th, there from a high to a low. Consolidating like this, I would think, man. I mean, you've broken out of your base range here. This is a nice candle. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually a nice way to close yesterday. That little, I want to call it. It's not an abandoned baby, but I mean, I know that that's a dragonfly doji. But this kind of setup where you have a fat candle down and a doji candle at the bottom, typically you see that get answered with a fat candle to the upside too. So there really is, that's a nice look. Let me see if I can find that. I promise you I'm not making that up. That's actually something that happens. Let's see if we can find something of exactly what I'm talking about here. I mean, that kind of works, but that's not what I'm looking for. That's not necessarily it. Let's see here. Like this, right? Fat candle up, you get a doji here, and then you fat candle down. But it's just like that setup right there. But why is it not moving? Come on. But this over here to the downside, we just don't have the upside yet. And ideally, you would close this candle. It would move above the open of that candle. Now, is that enough to get us above 302? Not necessarily, but that would be nice to see. And I suppose even if we close slightly red, this RSI can close a little bit to the downside without it being so shifted down like this. It could be a little bit neutral, like a slight tilt. Let's see if I can find an example of that here. Like this right here, where it looks like it's moving sideways. There was a slight tilt down right there, or like here, slight tilt down, but still bullish overall, or still not completely bearish. So it gave you a chance to fight another day. Is all I'm trying to say. All in all, we're holding out on the bullish note. I do believe that XRP is going to continue to grow. Even if today closes here or lower, even if the month closes here or lower, there's still a chance that next month can be very positive, and I think that it will because, we're still in this area to bounce off the overbought zone. Bitcoin's looking like it wants to make a comeback. Ethereum's looking like it wants to go, and I just can't imagine that XRP would consolidate here for too much longer. But time will tell. We'll definitely see. Not to mention, if we could close above, let alone $3.02. If we could close above like $3.05, we get the highest monthly close we've ever had in XRP's history. We are right on the precipice of seeing phenomenal new all-time highs, one way or another. High to low here, the expectation would be that this move, even if we continue to consolidate, at some point whenever we break out, it will be to the upside, and we would go all the way up to this $13.50 to $16 area, something in that zone. Whether it's now or it's 2 months from now, I think it's going to be now, though. I think September is going to break us out, and going into October will also break out and continue higher. But time will tell. We'll see how it goes. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I do want to analyze September real quick because I know that Bitcoin has bearish Septembers, but does XRP have bearish Septembers? Right? And I say bearish. Bitcoin's Septembers are actually more neutral. They're not really bearish. They're very neutral. But let's just see here. September to September. Why does it? Okay, that's September as well. Green, red, red, green. So 2 to 2, red, 3 to 2, 3 to 3. That's neutral. I don't know if that even counts. You're down like 0.5%, right? Red, red, green, neutral, green. It's literally 50-50 split. It's literally 50-50 split. Even the neutrals, there's 2 like neutrals in there too. So yeah, I guess September's not as bad for XRP as it typically is for Bitcoin. But Bitcoin consolidating, having a neutral September is actually not a bad thing. That typically when Bitcoin's consolidating and not moving up too much or moving down too much, that does give altcoins a chance to rally. Regardless, though, the next target is higher. That's my expectation. If we are to move lower, which I just don't see us doing that because the indicators do look bullish. But if we are to move lower, if I've missed something and this area here doesn't hold, if we don't get that bullish reversal, that kind of fat candle down, a doji candle at the bottom, then you come back up here. If that doesn't happen exactly like I'm talking about, the lowest price that I could see us going to, and if XRP is going down, man, the whole market's going down. High to, or low to high here, the lowest I could see us going to would be 257 to 239. Okay, but I doubt that we get below those areas, right? I very much doubt that we get below that area. At this point in time, I'm not calling for that. If this happens, I'm not going to be down here like I told you it was going down here. I'm just going to be like, this was the area that we had on the radar. If we were to go lower, we expected this, so we at least know that that's not an area to sell, it's an area to buy. And inevitably we will come back and move up higher. But that's not the call. The call, in case I'm being confusing, is to move up. Okay, hopefully by the end of today, and even if we close here or lower, still to move up would be the call. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe, take care of yourselves. All right, bye-bye.